Hey y'all, thanks for being an insider here at Googan Squad. We want you to learn and go catch some fish and give them a sniff. So if you like this kind of content, this is going directly out to you. Let us know on our Facebook page. We got a big growing community over there, and drop us a comment. So what we're going to go over today is pre-spawn techniques. I'm going to give you my top 3 pre-spawn fishing techniques. Everybody's got their favorites and it's going to vary from each lake, but these are 3 proven lures and techniques that I found going across the country that typically work. Let's go over the first one here. For anyone that has grass especially, the lipless crankbait is going to be not only a good lure for getting bites, but also catching big fish. I've had some tremendously large fish on fishing lipless crankbaits all the way up into the spawn. Typically during the spawn that bite falls off, but pre-spawn, especially if you got dingy water or grass, these lures really excel. And one of my favorite things about this bait is that you can throw it so far and cover so much water. A lot of times you're not getting that many bites in the pre-spawn. You're having to fish kind of slow, but this is one of those exceptions where you fish it pretty fast and it's a straight reaction. The fish are either gonna eat it or they're not. And if you just fish it over grass, you can use that common grass ripping technique or fish in those areas that are outside of the spawning areas that have a little more deeper water next to them. Typically I'm fishing the lipless in 4 to 8 feet of water. You can really cover a lot of water and get some good bites. My favorite color, I'm sure y'all are going to agree, the reds. We've got the cash craw. We've got some other reds that are really, really good in the pre-spawn. One of my other favorites for especially like Florida and some of the other southern lakes is gold. You get a lot of overcast days and in the pre-spawn, seems like gold and black is a really good color. Now the other one that is not necessarily my favorite, but it is a must for the pre-spawn. It's been popular for dang near a decade now, and it still continues to be a dominant pattern in the pre-spawn, and that is fishing an umbrella style rig. We have our shad wagon right here. I like this one because it has extra willow blades on it. Check your regulations in your state. Not every state will allow you to fish as many hooks as we can down here in Texas. But this bait, it imitates those balls of shad, and if you just kind of look at your electronics this time of year, you'll notice just balls of shad hanging around the creek channels and roaming, and you'll see bass that are just suspended kind of chasing them around. And it doesn't matter if you're fishing a creek, a pond, a lake, that's just what they do in the wintertime. And the umbrella style rigs really tend to get some big bites and really have a lot of drawing power. Plus you can throw them a long ways. Typically go with a slow retrieve, and one of my favorite swim baits, especially recently, fishing this one, I've noticed a difference in getting bites, is the slimmer. So we've had a saucy swimmer for years. It's been a great bait. Recently came out with a saucy slimmer in the 3.5 and the 4 inch with some great shad style colors, which is what I would go with. Remember, winter white on your swim baits. That's just always a thing for me. But this bait has a tighter wiggle, has a little bit of roll to it, but it really does well in colder conditions. So throw that on a jig head. And just a little tip here, typically what I'll do on my setups is I'll throw 2 heavier weights on the bottom 2 swivels just to kind of keel the bait. I'll put like a 1/16 in the middle, quarter, quarter. You can kind of switch it up, play with that, but if you keel it at the bottom, you'll notice you'll have less rollover on that. So that bait, chunk, slow retrieve, big bites. Lastly, but not leastly, is a jerk bait. This is my all-time favorite for fishing the pre-spawn. It is an excellent lure for cold water conditions because it allows fish time to see the bait. You fish it with a pause and they will come and grab it. It's kind of the opposite of a lipless, where you're just reeling it really fast. They're either gonna bite it or they don't. With this bait, you're going to wind it down to depth, about 4 to 6 foot, just kind of depending on the line that you're using. And then you're going to jerk that bait. And every time you pause it, the colder the water, the longer the pause. When you pause it, fish are going to slowly swim over to it and grab it. And usually the next jerk that you try to make, retrieving the lure, you got the fish. So it's incredible hookup. Obviously you got a lot of treble hooks on here. There's a lot of fish that will absolutely inhale these baits in the wintertime, and big ones. Some of my biggest pre-spawn fish are accounted for on the jerkbait. This is our Scout right here. I would go with a full size for winter fishing, trying to get down there a little bit deeper, pre-spawn. And you know, colors kind of vary depending on the water clarity and the sun for the day. Just really depends, but we got some great colors in the Scout. You could also throw it a long ways, but I can't tell you how many big fish that I've caught on jerk baits, and fishing that Scout, I've caught a lot of really nice fish in the pre-spawn. All right, hopefully you've learned something here. If you want to check out any of these baits that I've mentioned, you can visit us at googansquad.com and give us a like, give us a comment on our Facebook homepage, community. We want you guys to always be fishing, learning, and enjoying your outdoor experience. And until next time, we'll see you.